Hi, welcome back, friends. It's May 10th, 2025. It's my week 31 Zepbound journey update. Cannot believe 31 weeks. I know I've seen a lot of people, on their journeys, and they're going on 2 years or more. And I just, felt like a beginner, but now I'm kind of feeling like maybe I'm intermediate. but, and I'm thankful for all of you tuning in. I'm thankful for the ones that have helped me along the way with their YouTube channels. YouTube has become my new best friend. I find myself just, any questions I have, any information I'm needing to research, YouTube is my go-to these days. So it's become a part of my daily life. For those of you that don't know, I am a 55-year-old, recently retired elementary school teacher. Retired last June, so it'll be a year, June 1st. And I have two kids of my own in college. My daughter is 27, and she's a law student at FAMU Law in Orlando, Florida. And she graduated from York College with a journalism degree. I have a son who is going into his junior year, and he's transferring to FDU in Hackensack, New Jersey. You'll hear me talk about them a lot. And my husband is a hard-working, wonderful husband, supporter, number one supporter for all of us. He has been very encouraging throughout my journey. And my son, who's home now for just a few weeks before he moves to New Jersey, and I are trying to encourage him to join us in our fitness world. He just, like I said, he works hard, he works long hours, and he was also a college athlete, but he's, how old is he? He's 59, he'll be 60 next January. So he has some things that haven't affected him all these years, like eating a bunch of junky junk sweets you may hear me talk about on my previous videos. So now that my son's here with me, we're trying to team up and really help him kick this sugar addiction that he has, because as we get older and we're settling into our just old patterns, sometimes they don't mesh with our current lifestyle. So working on that with him, but not to get off on all that, even though I did. I am gonna kind of go through what's going on right now with my journey. So I'm still taking 5 milligrams. I've got notes today, but I started my journey October 14th, 2024. My starting weight was 210 pounds, which is just so hard for me to still fathom that I got up to 210 pounds. My whole life, I had a super fast metabolism, was very active, and just, was one of those people that people called too skinny. And it wasn't because I tried to be, it was because that was just the way my body was. I'm 5'9", and but after going through a lot of health issues, cancer being the main one, my metabolism changed drastically. I'm battling my 5th cancer in the past 27 years. Right now, I currently have neuroendocrine tumors, and I do palliative treatment, which is a chemo injection every 4 weeks, scans every 3 months. I'll be going on 2 years with this diagnosis in late June, early July of this summer. So with all the things that I've been through, my body got up to 210 pounds. And my current weight is 163.5. And my goal weight is 160, maybe. I'm just going to kind of, see how I feel when I get there. I'm happy right now with my weight. I'm not worried about the scales, but I am still trying to work on gaining as much muscle as possible in this 55-year-old postmenopausal hysterectomy, half a thyroid, non-fatty liver disease, all this mess that has become of my body. So I'm working hard to overcome that. So my main focus now is fitness. And like I said, I was always active and into fitness growing up. In college, I would take fitness classes. I would just audit them so that I could go because I just really enjoy working out. But it's been a long time since I've enjoyed it. And now I'm finding that joy again. So I'm really excited about that. And it's been great with my son being here because he is a fitness guru and he really inspires me. My daughter, who lives in Orlando, she's a fitness guru too, and she inspires me, but she's farther away. So, but just hearing her, she's a law student and she's able to, you know, just continuously think about fitness and trying to work out, even though she does have to spend a lot of time sitting and studying and reading and all that. So anyway, both of them were athletes growing up, still are, but they inspire me, and I'm hoping that I can just continue to see how healthy this 55-year-old can get. So right now I've lost 47 pounds. My BMI is 24.9. When I started this, my BMI was like 31 point something, I think, or maybe 32. So my goal progress is at 93%, and I've lost 22% of my body weight. The weekly average has been 1.6 pounds down, and 3.5 pounds to go to that 160 goal, which, you know, we'll see. Originally, I would think I would want to be 150. Just thinking back on where I was in different times in my life and what was a ideal weight, but you know, my body's changed, so I'm not quite sure if 150 would be too skinny or not. So we'll see. When I see people and they say, "Oh, you look good, you've lost a lot of weight," or I'll say, "Am I too skinny?" Because I don't want to be too skinny. In fact, when I went to my doctor the other day, he said, "Oh, you really lost a lot." And I said, "Am I too skinny?" And I don't think he really answered me either way. But anyway, so I'm really just into trying to gain muscle and improve my flexibility, my overall health, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that. So my mindset is just really so different than it was a year ago. And thanks to Zepbound, tirzepatide, it's just been a miracle for me. It really has. So one of the things that I want to share with you this year for Mother's Day, I usually just say I don't need anything, but I really wanted a beach bicycle. I do go to the beach a lot, but I also, you know, have a great place to ride in my neighborhood. So I told my husband that's what I want, and guess what? I've got it. Let me show you. There it is, my beach bike cruiser. I am so excited to get on it. It's raining today. My husband put it together last night. Felt like Christmas Eve. He was in there working on this bicycle. But as soon as this rain goes away, I'm going to give it a test ride. So I'm so excited about that. And I do have a helmet, so I'm excited about that too. It was so funny because when I first said I wanted a bike, my husband was like, "Oh, I'm afraid that you may wreck or fall. Or, when's the last time you rode a bike?" All these questions, and I was like, "I don't know. It's been a long time, but I think I can figure it out." And I think that I'll test it out on the grass. Don't worry. And then I'm just gonna ride carefully. I'm not trying to do a marathon, bike-a-thon, or whatever. But so, and then my son, when he came home and we told him what he's getting me for Mother's Day, he said the same thing. "Oh my gosh, yeah. So he was the one that said, do you have a helmet? And so they ordered me a helmet. But anyway, I think I'll be fine. I'm going to take it easy. So stay tuned. Let's see what else. Okay, I've been doing this Asian squat challenge, and you may have seen my short video about that. If you haven't looked into that, look into it and try it, because I mean, even a month ago, maybe even a couple of weeks ago, I would have thought, I can't do that. My knees, my hips, but I did it. And, the first time wasn't pretty, or even the second time, but I'm on day 8 today. And I see the improvements already. And not just when I'm doing the squat, but when I'm doing other yoga, Pilates, stretching, exercises, just everyday things, I can tell my flexibility has drastically improved. I've never, ever been naturally flexible. That would have been my sister. She was flexible growing up. And I was always a little envious of that, because we were both cheerleaders. And when I was a cheerleader, back in the 70s and 80s, splits were a big thing. And pyramids and, not so much the stunts and things like that. But I was the top girl on top of the pyramid. And if you grew up in the 80s, these pyramids were ridiculously dangerous. And most of the time we were on cement or concrete or a hardwood gym floor if it was basketball season, building these skyscrapers, I like to call them, pyramids. And it was always, how high can we get? Well, and I was the girl that somehow managed her way up to the very tippy top, because like I told you, I was skinny and I wasn't as tall. I grew 2 inches after high school. I think I was about 5'7" in my senior year, but before that, I was a late bloomer. I was smaller. So where did I go with that? But anyway, what was I? Oh, the squats. So every year for cheerleading tryouts, you had to do a split. That was part of your score. And like I said, I wasn't naturally flexible. So I would, leading up to tryouts, just stretch. I was a lot more flexible then than I am now, but I would just work it out until right up to the day of tryouts, I had my split. Now, I might have been in pain, but they weren't going to know it. I was going to grin through it. But I would do my split for tryouts. I'd get my score that I needed, and I didn't do it again until the next year tryouts. But and I am one of those people that always wanted to be flexible. So I have a reoccurring dream, it's not a nightmare, about being able to do splits. Do any of you do that? Like, I will dream that I'm just doing these splits. It feels so good. And then I wake up and I'm like, it was a dream. But I want to work up. I don't know that I'll ever do a split again, but I don't know. That's one of my little things in the back of my mind that might be a goal. But this squat challenge is making me think it's possible, which, anything's possible if you work hard enough. All right, so I'm really focused on, I'm going to get my bicycle out and ride it more than I've been doing the walking, just to have something different. And I continue my yoga and Pilates and strength training. And of course, this squat challenge, Asian squat, I'm going to do it every day. I've already done it for a little while this morning, and I just do it throughout the day now. There's also a thing called Hot Works. It may be in your area, HOTWORX, I think it is. My son and his trainer and one of his friends that they work at, they went to the hot yoga yesterday. But my son, he didn't go because he's trying to gain weight. And he sweats a lot already just with which he's at the gym right now. But so he said he sat in the parking lot, but we looked it up, and I'm thinking about, there's one here in my town, so I'm thinking about checking it out because I need to sweat. I've never been a big sweater, so my dad tells me the temperature of his greenhouse, so I keep telling him, well, I'm gonna come over there and sit in your greenhouse like it's a sauna sometime. But I might try that. They have hot yoga, hot Pilates, all kinds of hot stuff. So you get to go free for the first time. So I'm researching that, looking into it. Like I said, my mindset, I'm all about the fit. I love it. So, and my husband, he's not a lazy bum. I want to make sure I make that clear. He works hard. He works long hours. He's in sales at Rooms to Go. If you know, you know. And so he has always been a hard worker, but he also works hard here at the house. He does our yard work. You may have heard me talk about that before. And he keeps our yard looking pristine. And yard work is no joke. So he has endurance and strength and stamina. And so, you know, I'm just thinking he's really ahead of the game. If I can get him to cut out that sugar, shoot, you never know. We might just live to be 100 despite our sugars and cancers and stuff like that. But anyway, we have some trips coming up. We're supposed to try to get down to Orlando to see my daughter, and I want to visit a friend from high school that lives close by that's been battling cancer as well. And I have my sister trip coming up in July. Of course, my aunt and I will try to get a trip in here or there to her place. And my dad has a place, you know, all in the Gulf, which I've learned more about this. They're really trying to change it to Gulf of America, but whatever. The Gulf. And we're going to, you know, go to the beach as much as possible. And my son, who's moving to New Jersey, if they don't get this Newark Airport traffic control issues worked out, I'll be driving him up to New Jersey, or maybe he'll fly into LaGuardia or JFK. I don't know, but may end up going to New Jersey again. But I'm trying to make a goal of being swimsuit ready for me, not hot girl summer, but swimsuit ready for me. And maybe do a swimsuit try on, a real swimsuit try on. I've kind of skirted around that with my Shein haul. And I don't know, is it Shein or Shein? Shein, I don't know. And there's a lot of things I've been saying wrong lately. My son's school, I don't know, is it Fairleigh Dickinson, or Fairleigh Dickinson? I've heard it 3 different ways. FDU, Hackensack, New Jersey. If you know, let me know. All right. So, you know, I had my blood work done. I talked about that last week. My doctor had his assistant call me and tell me again that my thyroid was great. B12 was great. Vitamin D is excellent. Cholesterol is still the numbers that the new guidelines say is not where they need to be. But he still says he thinks mine is just hereditary because my numbers have been that way for years. Even when I was like 125 pounds and just fit, my cholesterol numbers have never been where they need to be. And he knows how healthy I eat, and he knows how much I exercise. But he knew my mom. He was my mom's doctor as well. And she had high cholesterol. And he thinks that it is just one of those hereditary things. Because he's had the scan done with the contrast on my heart. And I had a perfect score. That was in 2022. And you have to wait 3 years to do it again. So we're going to do it again in October. Or when I visit him in October, we're going to talk about it and probably set it up. And, you know, hopefully that's going to show that my arteries are fine. It's perfect score, which he said he rarely sees, of 0. And then, you know, if not, we may have to talk about some cholesterol medications, but I'm really going to try my best to avoid that. I have a friend that she says that cherry tart concentrate is good for your cholesterol. So I've never tried that. I have had cherry juice, but I'm going to get some of that and drink a little bit of that and see. I don't know. So that's kind of one of my health things going on right now. Also, at my last appointment with my chemo octreotide injection, my oncologist said that she's going to start scheduling my scans farther apart. I go every 3 months. I've been doing that for the past 2 years, and my next scans are May 28th. Glad I said that out loud because I was talking to my daughter today about going to Orlando and I forgot I have that appointment. But I'll do scans then, and then probably after that, she may spread them out to every 4 months or 6 months. I'm not sure. Just because I'm exposed to a lot of radiation when they do those MRIs and CAT scans every 3 months. I'm also trying my best to minimalize. You may have seen some of my organization videos. I have done a few videos, but I've done a lot more organizing than I've videoed. So I'm really enjoying that, and I'm trying to get rid of things. I don't need a lot of things. I just want to focus on, enjoying moments and not things so much. So I've cleared my closet out. Now that I'm retired, I really don't need a lot of clothes. Like as a teacher, I had just tons of work clothes and things like that. But lately, of course, none of those clothes would fit me. They're too big. So I was able to donate some really good things, lots of things. And I've also got a few things that I'm going to start a Posh app sale thing with. My sister does that, and I'm going to try it out. I just saved a few pieces just to do that and see how that goes. But I don't want to find myself buying more things and just getting a full closet again like that. So I'm trying to keep my mindset minimalized and just really focus on, saving, and especially with the prices of things. I need to do that, and we can use that money for other things. So you'll see fewer hauls. That's where I'm getting to from me. But I also have some good news, and I kind of feel guilty about sharing it, but I got my CVS Caremark letter, and it says that Caremark received a request from your prescriber for coverage of Zepbound 5 milligrams. That's been my sweet spot. This request is approved for the following time period as long as you remain covered by your prescription drug plan and there are no changes to your plan benefits. April 30th, 2025 to April 30th, 2026. Praise God. It does say approvals may be subject to dosing limits in accordance with FDA-approved labeling, accepted compendia, evidence-based practice guidelines, or your prescription drug plan benefits. If you have not already done so, you may ask your pharmacist to fill the prescription. Yeah, I've already talked to my pharmacist, and they assured me they have my prescription on hold, and it will be automatically refilled for the next year. So, praise God. I'm praying for all of my friends, though, because I don't know if mine's approved because of my other health issues or, and maybe the dosage. I'm only on 5 milligrams. And I plan to just stay on 5 milligrams, unless something changes. But that's what I'm planning to do. I'm still losing weight on it. And when I really do real maintenance, I'll just spread it out and see how that goes. But I did the 2.5 for 4 weeks, did 5 milligrams for 16 weeks after that. Then I went to 7.5 and did it for 4 weeks. Then I went back down to 5, and I've been on 5 ever since. I thought that, the goal for maintenance was to get back down to 2.5. But through my research, thank you, friends, I realized that 2.5 is not a maintenance dose. So, and I don't think that insurance would approve that long term. So, and I heard 7.5 and up is what a lot of people are on that they're not getting approved for if their CVS Caremark is their pharmacy benefit service. So, I'm thankful that I'm on 5 and thankful that I got approved. But please know, friends, I am praying for all of you because I know what a blessing this medication has been for me. And I know that, people don't do it just to do it. You do it because you need it. And I'm going to just, hope and pray that some things start going right in our world. And that, just the world in general and our country can just get to a mindset of helping people and doing what's right. Not try to get political or anything, but, you know, my channel is Choose Joy, and I try to find joy. And one way to do that is to try to block out a lot of the noise. But when things like this are going on, it's affecting people's livelihood, their life. You know, it's life or death, really, in a lot of situations. So I'm praying and hoping that things work out for the good, the common good. So that's my update. I'm going to do my injection, and if you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to drop a comment, or if you just want to say something nice, drop a comment. I love to hear nice stuff. Or if you have any answers for me about anything that I've talked about, please help me out. To show me that you watched it, please give me an emoji of a bicycle. And I hope you all have a wonderful Mother's Day. And just remember, choose joy.